Good evening and welcome to St. James Family Worship, the perfect place for people who aren't perfect. I thank God that you've taken the time to be a part of this Bible study and devotional tonight. Going to take just about 5 to 7 minutes to talk about good marriages. Sunday morning we talked about good marriages don't just happen. Good marriages don't just happen. And at the end, I'm going to do your devotional, which this is day 41. Day 41. But to start with, we're going to get into Sunday morning's review of good marriages don't just happen. Now, and if you're listening to me and you're in the area, Sunday morning would be an awesome time to be at St. James Family Worship, 1005 Nobles Road, especially if you're needing a jump start in your marriage. This is an awesome marriage teaching that's going on this month. And I'm looking forward to Sunday morning because last Sunday was awesome. And I know this Sunday is going to be equally so. So good marriages don't just happen. Philippians 2:2 said, "Then make me truly happy by loving each other and agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, working together with one heart and one mind and purpose." What if every marriage would adopt that as a mission statement or a purpose statement, that we would be able to be together, loving each other, agreeing wholeheartedly, and working together as a marriage? When we start dealing with marriage, one of the biggest issues we run into in marriage is communication. Communication is the key. I've counseled a lot of people in my tenure as pastor. I've pastored for, I guess, over 30 years. And one of the key things that happen is people can't communicate. Even when people come in and they have serious problems, as long as they can talk. I don't care if they fuss and arguing. I don't care if they staying in different rooms in the house. As long as we can get a point of communication together, we can fix the problem. But you got to understand, you can't fix a problem and build a marriage on a two-legged stool. You got to bring God into it to make sure your stool has 3 legs on it. And once God is a part of the marriage, not just in word. People always say, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. That don't mean God is the head of your life. You got to understand that when you put God first, God is first. All right. Let me give you a couple of keys to deal with communication. Matter of fact, let me give you 6 keys that we're dealing with. We're dealing with communication, consideration, compromise, courtship, commitment, and Christ. This coming Sunday, we'll be dealing with courtship. You know, sometimes you quit courting. And that's one of the worst things you can do in a marriage is quit courting, quit dating each other like you used to. Then there's commitment. When the love stops, when you run into problems and you start saying, well, I don't love her, I don't love him like I used to. Well, that's where commitment comes in. Then last of all, Christ. Last Sunday, we talked about communication, consideration, and compromise. Tonight, communication. It takes communication to have a good marriage. Proverbs 13:17 says, reliable communication permits progress. If you're going to progress in your marriage, you gotta have reliable communication, being able to talk to each other. And the key thing is talking to each other. According to a Newsweek survey, it said that sometimes we only talk to each other 4 minutes a day. 4 minutes a day. We spend, 8, 10, 16 hours at work. We come home and we talk for a few minutes. No wonder our marriages are in such a shamble, is because we don't talk, we don't build, we don't do what it takes to make that marriage work. We do what it takes to make the business work. We do what it takes to make the job work. We do what it takes to make people work. But one thing about it, what about the marriage? You gotta do what it takes to make the marriage work. And it starts by talking and communicating. Let me give you a few suggestions to help you with the communication process. Then we'll get into our devotional for tonight. One, if you're going to communicate, set a time and a place that you're going to sit and talk. Schedule a time to talk, just like you schedule your meetings at work. Schedule a time to sit down at home with your spouse and talk about whatever it is that you need to do. Let it be spouse time. Turn off the TV, turn off the radio, and talk. Yes, man, talk. Men have a problem with talking. You have to talk. 2, get ready and prepare. Women, if you're going to talk to the man, get prepared. Have your ducks in a row so that when you sit down and talking, you're not all over the place. And 3, stay on the topic. Make the main thing the main thing. If you got an issue, a problem in your marriage, deal with that problem. Don't deal with 6, 7, 8 problems in one night. Deal with one, focus on one, and keep the main thing so that you can get it done. 4, be sensitive to time. Don't spend all night talking about it. Because if you spend all night talking about it, you're probably going to run into some serious issues and end up fussing again. That would mean you need counseling, because you need a mediator between you two so that you can get your communication out. And lastly, close with a takeaway and an affirmation. What is the takeaway? The takeaway is making sure when we've sat and talked, we have come to a conclusion, a solution on something. Have a good takeaway. Matter of fact, write down the takeaway so you'll know what it is that we discussed and what we agreed upon. And then affirmation. A good old-fashioned thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I love you. Matter of fact, have you told your spouse in the last few days that you love them? The guy was asked, did you tell your wife you love her? No. When was the last time you told her you love her? I told her I loved her the first day we got married. Nothing has changed. Yeah, but she needs to hear that every now and then, that you still love her. And when you deal with the heart of a woman and she knows you love her and that she is protected and that she is safe with you, she'll be there for a lifetime. A woman approaches a relationship with her heart, and always know that a man approaches a relationship with his hands. Well, it's day 41. Let's go to a commercial break and I'll be right back. Matter of fact, let me do this. Got an awesome little song that I heard today, and this is Love Month at St. James, and it's called My Good Thing. My Good Thing. Now, somebody pop this in the comment section so everybody can have it. The name of the artist is Mike, M-I-K-E, Darnell, D-A-R-N-E-L, Mike Darnell, and the song is My Good Thing. I suggest you, before the night is over, spend 99 cents and go to iTunes and download it. I'm going to play just a minute of it because this is Love Month, and I'll be back shortly with your devotional for tonight. This is Mike Darnell. I feel like a DJ. Married folks grab hands and hold hands.
Oh yeah, we did it. They couldn't believe it. Yeah, we be the talk of town. Everybody running round, let y'all believe it now. And don't forget it, baby, you do it for me. You make my life complete. It was back in '06 in the ABG mix. My vision failed me, I could not see it. Yeah, you're my good thing. You're my good thing. Yeah, you're my good thing. You're my good thing. Now we done made this choice that we can stay together. Don't worry about the weather. This is love forever. Yeah, you're my
I told Joyce that a long time ago. She's my good thing.
You're my good thing. Now we done made this choice that we can stay together. Don't worry about the weather. This is love forever. Now that we tied that knot, can't believe how deep this love we got. Yeah, I would climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest ocean, just to be covered in your love ocean. Yeah, you see this love is real. It's not just how I feel. Cause what God's put together, they can tear apart. He took your name and wrote it on my heart.
Mike Darnell. You can get that at iTunes, I'm sure, and any of the downloads. Y'all young folks know what I'm talking about. I just use iTunes, YouTube, all of those places you can get music. Amazon. Mike Darnell. Your devotional is coming up right after this.
I touched it. I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that.
You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game. Talk to him, Coach.
I touched it. It's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Nice going, Alex. Sorry, Coach.
Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red.
Good evening. Welcome to St. James Family Worship, the perfect place for people who aren't. I pray that the blessings of the Lord has overtaken you today. Today is day 41. Avoid spiritual drifts. Hebrews 2:1 says it's crucial that we keep a firm grip on what we've heard so that we don't drift off. We live in a culture where the waters of pride, immorality, racism, and unholy living is rising. Paul said in his letter to the Hebrews, it's crucial that we keep a firm grip on what we've heard so that we don't drift off. The waters and waves of adversity are always rolling, churning, and the plan is to eventually push you away from the spiritual shore. When the storm is brewing, there are things that give you an indication that the storm is near, like the sound of thunder in the distance, lightning flashing, the wind blowing, and the rain beginning. Likewise, when the conditions are favorable for drifting, Paul said in 2 Timothy, these signs would begin to happen as a sign to us. People would become lovers of themselves, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to the parents, ungrateful, and unholy. My, the waters have risen to flood stage, and if you don't have an anchor that holds and grips a solid rock, like the songwriter said, you will surely drift away. Paul said it's crucial that you keep a firm grip on what you heard so that you don't drift. In order to keep a firm grip on what you've heard, you first have to hear something. Hear the word of God. Faith to hold on with a tight grip happens by hearing. Faith comes from hearing the word. Then you mix your faith with some joy. Why? Because the joy of the Lord is your strength. You need strength to hold on with your grip. So I get my faith by hearing and my strength through the joy of the Lord. Then I add peace. In the midst of the storm, peace comes by keeping my mind on God. Isaiah 26:3 says, God will keep those in perfect peace whose minds are stayed on him. With faith, strength, and peace, you'll be able to stand the enemy's attacks to keep you from drifting. And when it gets tough, just keep standing. And when you're done all to stand, just keep standing. Continue to stand and hold your grip. Hold on to the horns of the altar of God. Hold on to your faith and know that God is going to be with you. If you will hold on to your grip, you won't drift.
Yeah, you're my good thing. You're my good thing. Yeah, you're my good